Montebon. I'm presently the Executive Director of Kasilang Development Foundation, a member-based organization of the Association of Foundation. It's a national network of NGOs, foundation in the Philippines, of which I'm also the Vice President for Myrna. I've been in development work for the past 22 years. I started as a volunteer of Euro Service Program of Xavier University. That's how I started 22 years ago. I was assigned here in Davao City as my area of assignment, where I was assigned in a tribal community in Montebon.
Myrna, Siose, Siose. Currently, I'm engaged in work in the Archdiocese of Cagayan de Oro with the church, Birnin Support, the Development Foundation, and also I'm connected with the Voice Network. This is a national network of volunteer organizations and volunteer service programs, mostly based in the academy, faith-based organizations, CSOs, and also other programs based in the government agencies.
My name is Ferolin. I'm currently a member of the Department of Sociology in State University Iligan Institute of Technology, that's part of the MSU system. I joined them last 3 years ago, and I was formerly teaching or being part of the Xavier University. That's where I was involved with the Year of Service program where Myrna was starting, Joemil was involved. So before I became part of the academy, I was in development work. So after having had this long experience in development work and having been exposed to the YOS program, and when I joined IIT, I got this opportunity to start the VOCEP program. It's Volunteerism for Community Engagement Program. It's actually patterned after YOS, where the young graduates, aged 20 to 25, can develop and harness their skills in community work through volunteerism.
So I think three of you are all Mindanaoan. So as a Mindanaoan, as a volunteer, as a citizens for the society, how would you like to see the future peace and development here in Mindanao?
As a teacher in sociology development, and peace is perceived as an outcome or a process or everything is. Peace remains peace and development. It's always there's no development if there's no peace, or there's no peace if there's no development. We don't get into that debate. But what we want our students, me as well as the person, to get is to try to get into the process of engaging. And we know that in engaging, we're going to that direction that we want to, and that is peace probably, and through peaceful process or peace process. We make things, we just have to get into the process, and that's what we want to do with our students and our individual career.
But I want to say that I'm a strong believer of, with my passion, that I want to see people living in prosperity, in an economically sound environment, in a peaceful, vibrant communities. But at present, looking at Mindanao, sometimes one could say that's still quite a very challenging and daunting task, because seeing at the surroundings of Mindanao, a lot of communities are still really facing with problems on peace and security, as regard to their economic conditions, as regard to peace and order, and as regard to environmental protection. that really remains to be a big challenge. But still, I'm keeping my faith and passion that somehow, someday, people in Mindanao, with people coming together that are still willing, open, and able to volunteer their time, effort, talent, and resources, will get there in that direction.
I think that Mindanao, despite so many resources poured in, and I have always believed that Mindanao is so rich, but maybe it is poorly managed, handled, cared for by people indeed, because of their otherwise limited aspirations for Mindanao itself. Last time in our evaluation with the volunteers, one of the questions I asked in their synthesis is that who is Mindanao for you right now? I did not ask the question like what I used to, what do you intend to do for Mindanao? But who is Mindanao for you now? It was a deliberate decision to make it sound or come to them that they will relate to Mindanao as personal. And true enough, many of them were saying, Mindanao for me is my home. I am a Mindanaoan, and so the next question is, so what you would like to do for your home? And thereafter the answers have become personal. And that is exactly what I would like to look at it. When you say peace and development, it's not a development externally. It could be prosperity, development, physical. But then I would also like to see that people, and maybe from the point of view of volunteers who are doing something for Mindanao, is that they will also feel and experience the same prosperity, for instance. Prosperity, development, and growth within. I guess this is in deference to earlier perspective of like, if you volunteer, it's like a sacrifice because you're doing it for Mindanao, and it seems like you're not doing anything good for yourself because volunteering is one thing. But actually, giving is as much receiving. And that is what I would like to maybe remind and continue reminding volunteers and inspiring them, come and give, but this is not really about sacrificing. Come and you will really gain much more actually than you think you were giving.
Yeah.
Actually, that is what, well, I don't have the skills and the abilities of how to, to entice them with but that is what I would like volunteers and future volunteers, and if ever I will be given a chance still to continue enticing, inspiring, or inviting people to this, it would be that perspective that we're inviting you to give because this is your home, this is your identity, this is your own, and so we're giving this because this is also giving to Mindanao. Developing Mindanao is actually developing your own, yourself, your own growth. So that's, I think, and also in relation to earlier, previous years, or maybe 30 years of a perspective, like I was so, not really scared, but I was so disturbed about many young people, smart, bright, intelligent people. These are our very good human resource for Mindanao, and they were not here anymore. We're losing them. So as we're losing our natural resource. And so I would remember that the earlier title of our program is really Formation of Human Resources for Social Development of Mindanao. The idea of really, retaining very consciously Mindanaoans for Mindanaoans. So with that, I very much agree with your for Mindanao. So maybe that developing that is both a personal growth, an experience of personal growth, prosperity, generosity of people, and those who are in the work or in the ministry of leading, like volunteering.
So after 10 years, maybe final question will be, maybe what does volunteering for Mindanao mean to you? Maybe you can also ask yourself, who is Mindanao for you after 20 years?
Deep and profound question. But to me, Mindanao is still about me, about us. 22 years ago, how we made that decision of choosing a career, which up to now, we're still around, keeping the same passion and commitment to really work for the betterment of Mindanao. That to me is what Mindanao is all about. Seeing like-minded individuals and institutions coming and working together, sharing the same commitment and passion to work for the betterment of peoples in Mindanao.
As Mindanao said, Mindanao is home. And yes, it is home, and it gives us a real experience of what it is to live in a universal world. Yeah, and Mindanao is like a microcosm of a global earth. We are an island, so resources are limited, and we coexist with different cultures, different histories, different perspectives, but we coexist, and the realities at hand are really, not so positive. There are lots of things to be done, and I think this just symbolizes what is there in our global realities. And working for Mindanao gives us a concrete contribution to improve our human well-being and our universal existence.
After 35 years, 20 years, 50 years, and 35 years in volunteering for maybe it is a career or maybe it's a calling. But I'd like to believe that volunteering in Mindanao, despite this, like when we say volunteer, you're willing, okay, but no, the stand is not just willing, you must be able. And I think that all our formation processes have been based on that, preparing people. But today, volunteering for Mindanao is not only about willingness to do, it's not only about your abilities to do, but maybe we have to do it strategically. Strategically, as Siose say, we'd like to contribute, but it's not just about contributing, but it is also making what we're doing strategic, and maybe with a of sophistication, that's the world today. And maybe because we have to move along with that as well. Sophisticated, but also strategic, systematic. I mean, I guess we have to be that, done that way, volunteering. But I also believe that today with diverse, not only perspective, but diverse development paradigms, for instance, that everyone would like to contribute for the good. But sometimes it's also the process that, doesn't, it's a good to combine them also. We have to be very precise as to how to inclusive, etc. But I guess that the idea is that there's a lot of ideas, a lot of talents as well. So I think that volunteering or bringing our different talents together would require a solidarity. I mean, be inclusive and bringing in, and that's a real challenge to bring in different perspectives, different talents, and good ideas, resources for one purpose, to grow, to develop, to be good, to harmonize, for peace, to the solidarity, a convergence of all this. But for me, at the end of the day, volunteering in Mindanao it's a response to our calling. I mean, maybe beyond all of this is spirituality. I mean, this is not just a home, this is not just work, but I think that this is about responding, and I will continue to exercise my faith in this. And Mindanao with a diverse people, for example, especially because a very unique, unique groupings, interfaith, interculture, the IPs, and all of us. So for me, it's a real calling of my spirituality as well, my faith. So I could not imagine that continuing probably in another world. When I go to Japan to take a break. Yeah, but Mindanao is Mindanao. When you say home, this is also your faith-based commitment.
Maybe Mindanaoans and future followers for Mindanao, would you like to say something, maybe in your own language?
I went to different places in Mindanao, and I've seen different phases of poverty, of people living miserably, people living comfortably. What pains me in seeing this situation, this disparity of economic conditions of people, is that the challenge of conflict resolution. It's really affecting a lot of communities, affecting a lot of economic livelihood, displacing people that further reinforce the kind of poverty situation that we're there in right now. So that to me is a sad phase of reality of Mindanao. But I want to keep hold to my faith and dream that soon, someday, this will really end. Because we only have one Mindanao. We have nowhere to go. There's no other Mindanao, and this is just the only Mindanao, the only home that we can claim.
Yeah. In response to your question, I would like to call on to my fellow Mindanaoans as my colleague said, we all in Mindanao, I'm sure of that, because I'm a Mindanaoan myself, and I know and I'm sure that each of us desire this peace and prosperity and the beauty in life that we desire. And each of us has tried to reach to that point, and I have strong faith that in our individual capacity and concerted efforts, we will get there.
Mindanao is still part of the world, but I would like to invite everyone that to spread ripples of goodness, and I believe that if each one has that, what they do for Mindanao, what we do for Mindanao, will also affect all of us and wherever we are in Mindanao or even beyond Mindanao. That's so. I guess give and spread. Because even the ripples of goodness. Mindanao. So volunteer na.
In Bisaya.
Volunteer na nga. Isama ka na.
Padayon na.
Padayon ka.
Let's continue.